I'm Andy Chanley from 88.5 The SoCal Sound. I'm backstage at South by Southwest in the Convention Center with Ron Gallo. Thank you so much for doing the stage. You guys just walked off.
Yes.
I feel like the question should be, you just won the Super Bowl, now where are you going?
Well, you know, it was just the team. We just kept the team on. We worked really hard, and spirits were high, and it's just very grateful to win this year.
110%?
Yeah.
You know, it's, everything that you find on the internet is factual, and you can believe without question.
100%.
I was looking on Wikipedia, and they have genres of music next to the music that you make, and they said everything from garage punk, post-punk, art rock, indie. If you were sitting next to an elderly woman on a park bench, and she said, "What do you do, young man?" How would you describe your music?
Ooh, I make pretty intense, chaotic ADHD music that's centered around the lyricism, which is often rooted in, I guess, social commentary with a sense of humor, because I don't take myself seriously, but I like to use music to talk about things that are happening, I guess. So.
Yeah. You know, I interviewed, I'm going to drop a name. I was lucky enough to interview Warren Zevon like 23 years ago.
Yeah.
And I asked him, I'm like, there's some dark stuff in your music. Like, you know, what's going on with that? He said, well, I figure I'd take my troubles and I put them in the songs, and then they're your problem. I feel like we get that from you too.
Yeah, I mean, making this record was definitely therapeutic. I mean, channeling a lot of the crisis of the last few years, and you know, looking around at the world and just being like trying to assess what's happening, and putting it all into this album was definitely therapy for me to get it out. So yeah,
cathartic.
Yeah, it is cathartic. I think it's part of it. But I also think, not for me, it's not like putting the burden on people. It's probably more making people feel less alone in why they feel so off and anxious and discouraged and all sorts of, you know, how could you not?
Yeah.
So I like putting that into it, so when people listen to it, they're like, oh, I'm not the only one.
We were talking, the three of us, just before you guys went on earlier, about where we're from and where we're headed. I know that people will make, fans will make requests for songs and so forth. You guys were talking about you're not sure where you might settle next. Can fans make pleas for you to settle in their communities? Are you taking requests at this point? Can people sway you?
Yeah. Just like songs at a show, we like to take requests with like much larger life changes. So if anybody has any requests on where we should live, please send it in. Chiara's Italian. She moved to the U.S. 2 years ago from Italy, one of the greatest places in the world. So we might just we might not take the request and just kind of make a beeline for there, but yeah.
It sounds lovely.
Yeah.
All right, send us a postcard. Ron Gallo, thanks so much for playing for us today. Thank you so much for playing for us today. The new album is called Foreground Music. It's awesome. You'll hear the single title track, Foreground Music, on 88.5 The SoCal Sound. When will we see you in concert?
In April. It's
in Southern California. We're working on it for the fall.
Yeah,
okay. All right, keep checking the calendar at thesocalsound.org. Ron Gallo, thanks. I'm Andy Chanley from 88.5 The SoCal Sound, live at South by Southwest.